Alright, welcome back. We are looking at Module 4, Topic C, Lesson 7, and our objective is to multiply any whole number by a fraction using tape diagrams. And as you can see here, we have a fraction for 1a, and we're going to multiply it by a whole number. So we have 1/4 of 24. So we know that our whole is going to be our 24 here. And we have fourths. I'm going to circle my 4, which is my unit, in green here, because what I'm going to do is split this tape diagram into fourths. So ask yourself, how many lines do we need to get 4 parts? Hopefully you said 3. 3 partitions gives me 4 parts. So you can see that I have split my whole 24 into 4 parts here. So remember, 1/4 is a unit fraction. We're talking about 1 part of the whole, and the whole just happens to be split into 4 equal parts. So if we know we have 4 units, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 units equals 24. So now we're trying to find out how much 1 unit equals. Well, 1 unit is equal to 24 divided by 4 units. So if we don't know our division facts, we say, well, let's take a look here. I'm trying to find out what this equals. Division problem. I can use the inverse operation and write everything backwards. So my blank's going to go first, my 4 is still going to be here, and then my 24 is going to be here. So if I can solve what times 4 equals 24, then I know 24 divided by 4 equals what? Same thing here. Hopefully you said what number is going to go here? 6. Good job. So that means that my answer would be 6. So we have 6, 12, 18, 24. 1 unit is equal to 6. All right, let's take a look at B here. So we have the same fraction. And if you notice, our whole number doubled now. We went from 24 to 48. So same thing, we're going to have our total 48 up top. So we're trying to find out 1/4 of 48. Once again, we have to ask ourselves, well, what's our units? It's going to be split into fourths. Our whole 48 is going to be split into fourths. So we have our 3 partitions. You see my 3 vertical green lines here. My 3 partitions give me 4 parts. We know we have 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4 units. And my 4 units total 48. So this 48 is just going to drop right down. So 48 is going to drop down. And now I have 1 unit is equal to 48 divided by, hopefully you said it, 4. So now I have to ask myself, well, 48 divided by 4. I can use the inverse operation and say, well, I know what times 4 equals 48. Or you can do the standard algorithm and write it out. We have 4 10s, 8 1s divided by 4. Remember the steps: division, multiplication, subtraction, bring down, repeat. 4 10s divided by 4 people. If we had 4 $10 bills and 4 people, each person would get 1 10. That's my division. Next, 1 10 times 4 is 4 10s. Subtraction. 4 10s minus 4 10s is 0 10s. Bring down my 8 1s. Now I have 8 1s divided by 4. Each person will get 2 1s. We will repeat the whole process. Division. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtraction. 8 minus 8 is 0. So we know our answer would be 12. If you are proficient in your multiplication, it would be much easier to just use the inverse operation. Say, okay, we're trying to find out 48 divided by 4 equals what? So we know that something, that same number here, is going to be here. Factor times factor equals product. dividend divided by your divisor equals quotient. So I know that this is going to be 12. So that means that each one of these fourths will be 12. 12, 24, 36, 48. All right, moving on. I'm going to pick up the pace here a little bit. 2/3. Units are thirds, and I'm multiplying them by 18. So 2/3 of 18, or 2/3 times 18. I know 18 is going to be my whole. How many units am I going to have here? Go ahead and push pause if you need to. Hopefully you said 3. 2 partitions give me 3 units, and that equals 18. So that means 1 unit is going to be equal to 18 divided by 3. And of course, 18 divided by 3 is going to give us 6. So we have 6, 12, 18. All right, moving on to 1D. So once again, we have a total of 18, and we're dividing it into 6 parts. Our unit is 6. Now we're trying to find out, let's go back here for a second. If you notice, both A and B were unit fractions. They were asking for one group. So now I almost made a mistake here, because they're not asking me for 1/3. 1/3 is equal to 6, but they're asking me for 2/3. So they want to know how much 2 out of 3 would be. So that means 2/3 of 18 is going to be equal to 1/3 plus 1/3, or 1/3 times 2. So our answer would be 12 for this top part here. 1 unit is still equal to 6, but they're asking me for 2 out of 3. So keep that in mind. It's no longer a unit fraction in C and D. So now we have 6 parts. You can count the 6 parts here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, they want to know how much these 2 parts are equal to. We're going to find 1 unit, and then our 1 unit is going to help us find that 2 units by simply doubling. 6 units here, and 6 units is equal to 18. So that means that 1 unit is equal to 18 divided by 6. 1 unit is going to be 3. All right, so if 1 unit is 3, then 2 units is 3 plus 3, or 6. And we can put in all of our units, but they're just asking us for 2. So we just want these 2 right here. I think I want to give a shout out to Aiden. I think Aiden brought this up in class. He said, okay, well, I noticed that my 18 in my tape diagram's up top, and my 6 units are at the bottom. So remember, we talked about division problem being set up as a fraction. So you can see that you have 18 divided by 6 is equal to 18 over 6. All right? So that's for our 1 unit. This is just for 1 unit, not for the 2. But we can easily see in our tape diagram where we have our 18 over our 6, which is going to be the same thing as our 18 divided by 6. All right, moving on. 3 7s times 49. So 3 7s is going to look like what? Our tape diagram is going to be split into 7s, and we're going to be looking for the first 3 here. That right there, that's the number that we're trying to find. All right, so before we do that, we have to find how much 1 unit is equal to. So we know that we have 49 total, that's our whole, and we're dividing it into 7 units. So 7 units equals 49. So that means 1 unit is equal to 49 divided by 7. So what is 1 unit equal to? Hopefully you said 1 unit is equal to 7. So if 1 unit is equal to 7, then what is 3 units equal to? My 3 units will be equal to 7 times 3, or 7 plus 7 plus 7. And hopefully we know that 7 plus 7 plus 7 is, say it all together, 21. All right? And if we listed out all of our 7s, that would be our 7 7s for our total 49. but our answer is 21. And 3 sevens times 49 is 21. All right, 3/10 of 120. So we should see that our units are going to be tenths. Let's go ahead and just count our tenths here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 partitions. My 9 vertical green lines gave me 10 parts. I know that I have 120 is going to be my whole. Try to squeeze that in. And we just said we had 10 parts or 10 units. So if 10 units equals 120, then 1 unit is going to equal 120 divided by 10. This goes back to module 1, lesson 1, where we're dividing base 10 numbers. So I have 12 tens, 120 is equal to 12 tens divided by 10. So what I'm going to do is simply draw my place value chart. And when I divide, everything moves over to the right one time, and that's going to give me 12. Hopefully you were able to see that. So now, remember, our answer is not 12. 1 unit is equal to 12. We're trying to find out 3 units. So that means that, let's see if I can draw this sideways. Each one of these is equal to 12. That's a 2, not a z, I promise you. All right, so if each one of those 3 units are equal to 12, then 3/10 of 120 is equal to, what's 12 times 3, or 3 groups of 12. So our answer would be equal to 36. All right, if we know how much 1 unit is, I can find how much every other unit is. It's just like if I said there were 3 triplets and they all got the same amount of money for their birthday. They all got $12. How much does all 3 of them have together? So you say, well, if one of them got 12 and they all had the same thing, then that means each of them had 12. So that would be 12 plus 12 plus 12, or 12 times 3. And remember, you need to set it up as an addition problem. Set it up 2, 4, 6, 10, 20, 30. Or as a multiplication problem, 2 times 3 is 6. 1 10 times 3 is 3 tenths. So either way, we get our answer at 36. All right, let's pick up the pace here and wrap up soon. Next problem. Now we have back to unit fraction, 1/3 of 31. So this is going to be our final answer, whatever 1 unit is equal, because we're talking about unit fractions. So we know that we have 31 up top, because that's our whole. And we're trying to split it into thirds. So how many partitions am I going to need, and how many parts am I going to have? Answer to yourself. Thank you. Hopefully you said 2 partitions will give me 3 parts. All right. So now we know that we have 3 units is equal to 31. So that means that 1 unit is equal to 31 divided by 3. Now think about 31 and 3. If we were looking at a 3 times table chart, or we skip counting by 3s, we know that we're going to come to 30 and then 33. So 31 is not divisible by 3 as a whole number. So we know that 1 unit is going to be equal to the improper fraction of 31 over 3. And he said, well, let's go ahead and factor that out. Well, I know it can be equal to, if I skip counting by 3s, I would get to 30, and that's 3 times 10. And then I would have what left? I would have 1/3 left. Does everybody see that? If we skip count it by 3s, we would get all the way to 30. So I can take 31 and divide it by 3. 3 tens divided by 3 is 110. That's my 110 right there. Multiply 110 times 3 is 3 tens. Subtract 0. Bring down. Now I divide 1 divided by 3. I can't do. So now I have 1 remaining, is 1 what? 1/3. All right? So I got that 1 over 3. So each one of these would be 10, 20, 30. And then to get my 1, I get 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3 plus another third is 3/3. So 3/3 is equal to 1 whole. All right. And once again, this is a 0, not a half an 8. All right, looking at H here. So we have 2/5. Now we're no longer looking at the 1 unit. We're looking for 2 units. So we're going to have to double whatever we get here. So 2/5 of 20. Hopefully you automatically noticed that we had 5 as our denominator or our units. So that means we're going to split our tape diagram into 5 parts. So now we say, well, we know that our whole is 20. We know that we have 5 units that equal 20. So that means that 1 unit is going to equal 20 divided by 5. 20 divided by 5, if we skip count by 5s until we get to 20, we get 5, 10, 15, 20, which is 4. So that means 1 unit is equal to 4. We're trying to find out how much 2 units is equal to. So if 1 unit is equal to 4, 2 units equals to 8, 12, 16, 20. So we know we're looking for these 2. We know that that's equal to 8 units. Let's go ahead and put this up top too. 1 unit is equal to, give our improper fraction first. If you put this right here, technically I would give you credit for that because they did not ask us to change our improper fraction to a mixed number. Now if it was multiple choice and you had this and it wasn't an option, then you know you need to convert your improper fraction to a mixed number. All right, moving forward, I have 1/4 of 25, picking up the pace, split into fourths. 25 is my whole, and 4 units. So that means 4 units is equal to 25. So 1 unit is equal to 25 divided by 4. Once again, if I go to my 4 timetables, I know I'm not going to find the number 25. Okay, 4, 8, 12, 20, 24, and then I get to 28. So I'm going to have to say, well, okay, let's take a look at this. I know that 1 unit is equal to 25 over 4. And if I break this down into fourths, let's say 4/4, that's equal to 1 whole. So I had 25 fourths and I use 4. I take another 4/4, that's another whole. Take another 4/4, all I'm doing is dividing by using repeat subtraction. So I had 25 fourths. I used 4, that left me with 21 fourths. Then I use another 4, that's 21, 20, 19, 18, 17 fourths. We're going to keep going. 17 minus another 4 is 16, 15, 14, 13 fourths. So we can keep going until we get down to where we only have 1/4 left. All right? So we had, remember, 25 minus 4. That's our first 4 that we use right here. 21. And 21 minus 4. We're going to have to regroup. We say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's going to be 7 and 1, 17. So that's this one. So all we're doing is subtracting, repeat using, that's all division is repeat subtraction. So this is our second 4/4 that we use. That's our second whole. Then we say 17 minus 4. You say 4 from 7. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to have 3. That's going to be 13 remaining. Keep going. Count up to 13, that would be 9. So now we have 1, 2, 3. This is our fourth set of 4. Now we have 9. So look, we can say, well, okay, we're getting close to running out of 4s that we can take out of here. I get another set of 4. That's 5 4s. 5 remaining. Then That means I have enough to get one more set of 4. 5 minus 4 equals 1. So you see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of 4, or 4 fourths, right? 6 fours that I was able to get out of my 25 fourths. So I took out 6 whole groups, so that would be 6 wholes. And then I have the difference between 24 and 25 is 1 remaining, so that would be 1/4 remaining. I know that may look like a lot, but all we did was the division, and I'm going to show it as a division sentence now. That's the repeat subtraction. Then I have 25 divided by 4. Well, I can't divide here, so I say, well, 25 divided by 4. I can't say 2 10s divided. If I had 2 $10 bills and 4 people, I wouldn't be able to give everybody a 10. So I would have to go get 25 ones. And I say, well, everybody can get 6 ones. 6 times 4 is 24. That's how we got all the way down. We took away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fours away, which was 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That's my 24 24ths. Excuse me, 24 fourths. And I have 1/4 remaining, which is this right here. That's how I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1/4. So I know that each unit is 6 wholes and 1/4. And if you skip down by 6, you get 6, 12, 18, 24, and then 1/4, 2 fourths, 3 fourths, 4 fourths, which equals a whole. 4 fourths equals a whole, so I have 24 plus 1 equals 25. All right, that repeat subtraction is something else. That's why I would highly recommend that you memorize those multiplication facts so that you can just use the inverse operation. All right, last problem like this. 3/4 of 25. Hopefully you automatically notice that we're going to split it into 4 parts here. We're going to split our tape diagram into 4 units, and our whole is 25. Let's go ahead and solve. So we have 25 wholes, 4 units. So 4 units equals 25. And 1 unit equals 25 divided by 4. Once again, we should see 25 divided by 4 is not going to divide evenly. 25 is not a multiple of 4. So now, one thing that I noticed, I'm thinking like, hey, this is a problem we just did. It looks exactly alike except for one part. Instead of trying to find out what 1 unit is here, we're trying to find out what 3 units is here. All right? So we know we're going to get the same thing. So let's go ahead and write it out. It's going to be 25 over 4. I'm not going to do all of this repeat subtraction. I'm going to go ahead and just actually take my answer from over here. I know that it's going to be 6 fourths. Each one is going to be 6 and 1/4 rather. So it's going to be 6 and 1/4 for each fourth. But now they're not trying to find out how much 1 unit is equal to. This was our answer here. Our answer for I was 6 and 1/4. Here for J, we're trying to find out how much 3 units equal to. So now we're going to have to say, well, 6 and 1/4 either times 3 or 6 and 1/4 plus 6 and 1/4 plus 6 and 1/4. All right, so either way will work. I'm just going to go ahead and do the multiplication. When you multiply mixed numbers times whole numbers, remember it's just like we are multiplying 2 separate things here. So we're going to multiply our fraction times 3 and then our whole number times 3. So 1 fourth times 3 is simply 3/4. If I said I have 3 people and they each have 1/4, that's 3/4. Then same thing here. 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So that's our answer. 3/4 of 25 is 18 3/4. And you can see I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then I have 6, 12, 18. All right. Now, when I was setting this up, I wrote these problems, or I copied my little diagram that I made at the bottom here for all of the other problems on these last two. However, if you notice, for K and L, they're not asking us to solve for the final answer. We have the final answer. We're trying to solve for the unknown, which is our whole. So here, we don't know what our whole is. So we're going to put those in because we're looking for this part here. They give us 3/4. We said of equals multiplication, a number. So that's what we're looking for. 3/4 of a number. We don't know what the number. The word is equal to our equal sign. And they give us the answer. So 3/4 of a number is 27. Here we have 2/5 of a number is 14. All right, so basically we're going to have to work backwards. So let's look at K here. So we know that we have fourths. They give us this part here. Let's circle this. They give us that these 3 here, 1, 2, 3 out of 4, 3/4 is equal to 27. So this plus this plus this equals 27. So then I say, well, what do I need to do to find out what the whole is equal to? So right here, if I know that 3 parts, my 3 units, now I know that we have 4 total units, but for this problem, we know what these 3 equal already. So I'm going to say that my 3 units here that I'm trying to solve for, remember we're solving for the unknown factor. I'm not doing like in the previous problems where I was solving, trying to get my factor times factor equals product. We already know what the product is equal to. So I'm going to use the inverse operation. I'm going to simplify it. If I had a simple problem like this, I'm going to rewrite a multiplication problem that's super simple. If I said 3 times what equals 6? Of course, everybody can tell me 2. But the real way that we would solve this is say, well, let's write it backwards. I'm going to say 6 divided by what equals 3. Or I could even say 6 divided by 3 equals what? So if I can find this number here, then I can find this number here, and vice versa. So I know that all of these numbers would be 2. Same thing works with these more complicated problems. If I can say, well, I know that I have 27, and I know that I have 3 units. So I can say, well, 27 divided by 3 should tell me how much is in each one of these units. So if 3 units equals 27, then 1 unit equals 27 divided by 3. All right, so let's go ahead and do that math. I don't know division. I'm going to say, well, let's just write it backwards. What times 3 equals 27? Skip count by 3's. You said 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9. That means that each unit is equal to 9. So if each of these first 3 units are equal to 9, what do you think this fourth unit is going to be worth if they're all equal? Hopefully you said 9. Now I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of 9. So 4 times 9 is going to be whatever this answer is here. So 4 times 9, hopefully you said 36. All right. Excuse me. So super simple. All we did was we found our individual unit by saying we had 3 units here. This is what we did. Remember, I know that there's a total of 4 units, but we know what the 3 units are equal to. So we can take the 3 units and say 3 units are equal to 27. So that means 1 unit was equal to 27 divided by 3. And 1 unit was equal to 9. So if 1 unit is equal to 9, then we say, well, 4 units would be equal to 9 times 4. And that's how we got our 27. Okay? Walk through this one rather quickly. Same situation here. We're trying to solve that for that unknown factor. Remember, we're not solving for our product. We have our product. We're solving for our unknown factor. So we're going to say that we know that 2/5 of a number is equal to 14. So they gave us what this is equal to. These 2/5 right here equals 14. Hopefully you can do that in your head and divide 14 by 2 and tell me what each one's going to be equal to. I'm going to walk through the problem a long way. So if 2 units, 1, 2, equals 14, that's what's given to us. So a lot of people ask me, well, Mr. Kennedy, this is a 5 units. How'd you get 2 units equals 14? They told me here, 2/5 of a number is 14. Of is multiplication equals. A number is my unknown. All right. So that means that 1 unit is going to be equal to 14 divided by 2. So 1 unit is 14 divided by 2. Hopefully you said 1 unit is 7. So that means that each unit, unit fractions, each unit is 7. So how much is my total? Hopefully you said 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that 5 units is equal to 7 times 5. So 5 units equals what? Hopefully you said 35. So this number here is equal to 35. If you want to check it, we can check it by using the multiplication. Let's check. 2/5 times 35 wholes equals, and it should be 14. Let's go ahead and do the math. I'm going to simplify by cross canceling. 5 is divisible by 5 one time, and 35 is divisible by 5 7 times. 7 times 2 is 14. Check. All right, boys and girls, see if you can solve number 2. I know this was a very long homework, very long problem. Oh, excuse me, very long homework. So let's go ahead and make sure that we finish up strong. Also, comment in the video something that you picked up on, preferably on these last 2, because I believe most of us have the first part of this lesson. It's just solving for that unknown factor that we struggle with. And please look at this before you do your exit ticket. It's a take-home exit ticket because of testing. So do your very best. You're more than capable.